Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aventuria Solo Play. Today I'm going to be sticking with the same expansion that we were in last time when we did the Thorwall Drum. This time I'm going to be playing a different adventure out of Heroes Struggle. The one that I'm going to be playing today is called Emperor of Thieves. This adventure has some particular meaning to me. It is based on the adventure that I ran the most when I was demoing the Dark Eye, and I also helped to develop some of the mechanics of this particular adventure. As you'll see, it's definitely got some interesting changes to the overall Aventuria rules. Once again, we're going to be going in with Nicole Sororis, and she's gotten some advances, so I'm feeling fairly good about this, but I will also say that I have never run this adventure solo, and it definitely has some things going on that you would like to have some friends along with. So I'm going to see how it works as a solo adventure. We will find out. All right, so you'll notice that there are a lot of skill rolls in this one. You'll discover why soon. Emperor of Thieves. Fex Care, 24th of Fex, 1038 FB. Your travels have brought you to the City of Thieves on the eve of the annual Race of Thieves. This event is a contest of wits, thievery, and physical prowess between the various thief gangs of Fexcare. Whichever gang successfully delivers the marble head of a statue of Emperor Bodar, also known as the Idol of Many Hands, to the altar of Fex from one of the 5 stations throughout the city is declared the winner. In the fragile peace that currently exists among the gangs, this is one of the most important ways to gain prominence. You decided to participate in the contest to improve your standing in the city. The race is quite dangerous. Although no weapons are allowed, there are essentially no other rules. Traps, tricks, spells, and even outright violence are all permitted and even applauded by the thronging audience. So, we are now introduced to the first special rule for this adventure, the head. At the beginning of the adventure, you come into possession of the head. Name a hero as the carrier and get the starting player token. So I actually got out the starting player token, which I haven't needed since I'm solo, but I thought I would just make a note that I am definitely the carrier, at least for now. Hopefully I will remain the carrier all the way through, since if I stop being the carrier, I have lost the head and I'm done. All right. Each hero begins the adventure with 1 fate point and 5 cards from their action deck. These cards may be selected freely, but must then be placed in front of you so that the player does not know where your cards are. So, I have chosen 5 cards. I'll show you what I picked. I decided, because I know that these cards can come into play early in the game, that I wanted to have cards that would have low cost, be fairly useful, but I also know that I can potentially lose them in this part of the adventure, and I chose things that I would be okay if I didn't have them, but I would like to have them early on if possible. So I went with that strong healing potion that we've been enjoying, the chain staff, which has some good effects, the discus, which is nice and cheap. It's not a great attack, but it's a good starter. The fast friend, good old Rusty, he would be very nice to have out early, and provocate. So those are the cards that I've chosen, and now I must mix them up and hope not to lose them. All right, so I'm just gonna arrange them here at the top of my area for now so that I can continue to read. At the start of the adventure, there are no fate points in the middle of the game table. During the adventure, heroes can gain additional cards and fate points or lose them. The heroes have to head to the 5 stations and then to the Fex Temple. For all tests in which all heroes participate, the starting player rolls first, followed by all players in a clockwise order. I'm going to be the starting player. I'm always carrying the head, so I will always roll, and it's not like I have to worry about order anyway. So let's get started. We begin the race. Station 1, the Silver and Gold Gambling Hall. As you approach the gambling hall, the Fox Gang prepares to throw a net over the carrier from a nearby roof. Each hero makes a perception roll. All right. Perception is something that I have raised, so hopefully that will go well. 4. Success. If you are the carrier, you spot the trap at the last second. Subtract 1 from your body control roll at this station. So now that we've done that, now I must make a body control roll to escape from the net. And I apply the modifications from all heroes. So I will roll body control, which is good for me anyway, and I'm subtracting 1 from the die, so that will be good. And okay. If the carrier succeeds, the players may put 1 fate point in the middle of the table. So this fate point that I had is now part of my game. In case of a failure, a randomly decided player has to discard 1, and that would be removed from the game. So I have successfully put a fate point in the middle of the table. That's great. All right, then we move on to the Temple of Parain. In the road approaching the Temple of Parain, the Otter Gang has dug a knee-deep mud pit and disguised it with dry earth. Each hero makes a survival roll. Alright, so my survival is just 10, so let's see how that goes. 14, so I have failed. So, failure. If you are the carrier, you fail to spot the pit and get stuck in the mud. The head is in danger of slipping away, but did not change anything about my body control roll. So now, if the carrier has rolled a failure or a critical failure, but at least one other hero has rolled a success, one of these heroes becomes the new carrier, receiving the starting player token. If the carrier has rolled a failure or a critical failure and no other hero has rolled a success, then he remains the carrier, but the body control roll at this station automatically fails. So I have failed, so I automatically failed the body control roll. That's not great. To overcome the pit, the carrier must now make a body control roll. I did not succeed. I automatically fail it. I must discard 1. It would be removed from the game, but luckily, that one doesn't make me get rid of everything. Alright, so we move on to Station 3. The Stork Gang has built the Palazzo of Pagalthiron. The Stork Gang has built a series of barricades out of hay carts around the palazzo. As you pass by, they reach out to trip you. Alright, so I'm going to make a body control roll. And that's an 8, so that is a success. If you are the carrier, you manage to dodge the Stork's attempts to trip you. Okay, so that's good. All right. Station 4, the seat of the magistrate. As you approach the townhouse, everything seems to be going well, perhaps too well. One hero makes a craft roll. Decide as a group which of you will make the roll. All right, let's see what I can do with a crafts roll. I'm not great at that. That is, in fact, my lowest skill. And I definitely fail. You blithely walk into the station and hand over the head to the Acolyte of Fex. Unfortunately, this entire station is fake, and the Acolyte was just a cat gang thief in disguise. A random hero must discard 1 fate point. This fate point is removed from the game. It is not placed in the middle of the table. However, once again, this is not my fate point anymore. So these effects would have more going on if there were more people. As you can see, that some of the successes would be helping me get more fate points and some of them would be losing fate points for us. But since it's just me and I started with 1 fate point and I got it into the middle of the table right away, I'm doing okay. Let's see how we do on the last station. Station 5, the Fex Mead Brewhouse. There is quite a crowd outside of the brewhouse. You try to approach and blend in, but a little girl shouts, "They've got the head!" Your only hope is to try to redirect the crowd's attentions elsewhere and hope to sneak through in the ensuing chaos. One hero makes a persuasion roll. All right, that is a fairly normal skill for me. Add a 10. That is a 17. Failure. Your misdirection is unconvincing and only serves to draw further suspicion. I apparently screamed, "Look, a decoy." The carrier adds 2 to her body control roll to check in at this station. So now I do have to make a body control roll at this station. I succeeded, even with the raising it by 2. So if the carrier succeeds, the players may put 1 fate point in the middle of the table. In case of a failure, a randomly decided... Okay, so I may put 1 fate point in the middle of the table, but I cannot gain any more than the one that I already have, so that's all that happens. Then we get to the temple effects at the end of the race. Getting through the crowds around the finish line is going to be extremely difficult, especially because the crowds are also full of rival gangs. Each hero makes a roll on either body control, craft, perception, or stealth. Your choice. I will do body control since that is my best of those. And it is a 2. Success. You may either draw a card from your action card deck and place it face down in front of you, or place 1 fate point in the middle of the table. So I will go ahead and draw an additional action card, and that's going to be great. I will be starting with a bigger hand. Okay. The race is over! As everyone is celebrating, the Steward Vicar of Fex, Delia Nachal, approaches you. She indicates quietly that the head that was brought in is actually a counterfeit. Dun dun dun. However, she doesn't want to cause a panic, so she would like to ask you, as outsiders, to track down the real head and secretly switch the two during the next day of celebration. You agree and surreptitiously examine the fake head for clues. So let's go ahead. One hero makes a knowledge roll. So I will attempt a knowledge roll. It is a 12. That is not my knowledge. My knowledge is a 10. So I have failed. You are unable to determine anything about the statue. You spend some time researching marble workers in the city and are unprepared when you finally come upon the conspiracy. Yes, there's going to be a conspiracy. Discard the top card of your action card deck. Oops. So I will now discard the top card, and that's acrobatics, so I will not have acrobatics. It's not awful. It's not too bad. Okay. In your research, you discover that the counterfeit itself is not important, but inside the head is a void spider, an artifact that can dispel the karmic power of the 12 gods, thus opening the city up to domination by the Nameless One. That's not good. You urge Delia to hide the artifact away from the Temple of Fex while you hurriedly track it to its source. Finally, you come to an abandoned Temple of Efford that is now being used as the Temple of the Golden One. Actor Grimab, the aged High Blessed One of the Nameless God, sends demons and ensorcelled citizens to fight you while he casts terrible spells. Assemble all Emperor of Thieves cards. So now we are prepping for combat. I'm just going to move these things to my hand out of the way. We will definitely do this on easy, so our time scale is going to start at 7. Then we have a couple of hero actions. We have Blessed Water and Push Through the Crowd. And then we have Actor Grimab himself. Okay. So at the start of combat, we're going to place 1 adventure token, so it's a number of heroes. Delia has provided you with a small potion of Blessed Water. At the start of combat, place number of hero adventure tokens on this card. Okay, so that will give me a better attack against the demon, which should be a frightening thing, because, oh, there's a demon. Alright, Ector Grimab has hero times 6. His dodge rolls against magic attacks succeed automatically. He can only be attacked once the demon is in play. Additionally, he cannot be attacked unless a hero successfully uses the push through the crowd action first. So I have to get the demon into play, and then I have to do this hero action over here, which is a body control roll, so I feel okay about that. And that means that there's going to be a lot of things going on when I get to that point. Alright. Okay. All henchman cards with the keywords Thief and Guard are used in this combat. So let me get that henchman deck out. I have pre-made it. Okay, and I will draw threat value up to 5. So first we have a Fox Gang Thief, threat value 6, so that is all we'll have to start. Okay. All right, and then we're going to begin our combat. And I'm victorious when Ector Grimab, and if the demon is out, also the demon, are defeated. So let me set myself up at 40 health, put myself into play. Alright, we will begin our combat. Okay, so I begin my first turn. I will draw 2 cards. And hey, there's that light crossbow that I would much rather have than the discus. So the discus can go ahead and be an endurance, and bewitch. Okay, I think Blackout would be very useful against the demon, but it's so early that it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to hold on to it. So I think Blackout will be my second endurance play. Okay. Since I was able to keep Rusty around, I'm going to go ahead and play him because he's nice and free. Then I will use him, so I'm going to look at the top 3 cards. And ooh. As much as I would like the well-aimed strike and the balsam, I do have healing, and having the leather bracers sounds like a really good idea. So I'm going to pull that into my hand, and Rusty will go back into the deck with the other 2. Okay. Then I'm going to start to use my endurance, and I could either put out Provocate or a Leather Bracers. It doesn't really matter which one. So I think I'll spend on the more expensive one right now and do that. So that's Leather Bracers are protection of 1, and they raise my melee by 1, which is great. Then that's all my endurance, so I will go ahead and exhaust myself to throw a stone at the Fox Gang Thief, because there's no point in attacking Ector, since I can't. So I will throw a stone at the thief. That is a 4, and that will succeed It's 3 points of damage minus 1 protection, so I will do 2 to the Fox Gang Thief. Alright. Feeling confident, but I know this combat gets rough, so we'll see how it goes. Alright. Hector rolls a 17. We like high numbers. Nameless Doubt. The hero with the most cards in hand discards a random card. Oh no, sorry. 16 to 20 is nothing. So 17 means he does nothing. We definitely like it when he's just whispering Dark Chance and doing nothing else. Although we know that the Dark Chance will eventually bring us a demon, so that's not great. Alright, then the Fox Gang Thief rolls a 19. Flight. If all leaders have been defeated, remove this card from combat, otherwise nothing happens. So nothing happens. Then we move on to the time scale. We remove 1 time scale. Nothing happens at the moment. But next round something will. So let's see what we can do before that. Alright. Hey look, there's Rusty again. Yeah, that's great. Alright, so I need to figure out what I'm putting down as endurance. And I have a melee weapon, so I don't think I'm going to keep the foot sweep. And I really would like to keep the Bewitch, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play that also as endurance. I'll start out by putting Rusty in play and then taking his action. Ooh, Vigilance. Yes, Vigilance sounds great. So I will take that into my hand and shuffle these 3 back into the deck. Good boy, Rusty. Good boy. Okay. Now, I would like to make some attacks this turn, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 on Provocate, and then I'm going to spend 2 on the Chain Staff, and then I'm going to attack with my stone first. I will miss, which means I will take that fate point. That's totally fine. And then I'll spend my last endurance on the Chain Staff. Again, trying to hit the Fox Gang Thief. 14 is still a miss. I think at this point I am going to spend a fate point on that. I would really like to get that Fox Gang Thief down before things get worse. Alright, and I hit with a 6, and I will roll damage. And I am realizing that I forgot to roll the dodge for the Fox Gang Thief last time. That will be important. 6 is great, so that's 8 damage. Alright, the thief tries to dodge, and does. Well, that's annoying. So we'll only take 4, minus 1 is 3. And the Chain Staff effect does not happen, because she succeeded. Okay. Alright, that's all, but we've got a couple of protective things going on, and that's going to help a lot, and I'll have more attacks next round. Okay. Or better attacks, I should say. Hector will do a 12. Alright, there's the Nameless Doubt. The hero with the most cards in hand discards a random card. If this is the crossbow, I'm going to be very, very sad. Actually, I'm kind of at a point where I'd like to keep all of them, but in particular, crossbow. Alright, so I lost the Vigilance. Of the three, that's probably the one I'm most willing to give up. So I guess that's good. It's still not great, but I'll take it. Then the Thief rolls a 9, and that is hero with the most fate points suffers 1d6 plus 5. I'm the only hero, so I definitely have the most. So 1d6 plus 5. It's going to be 8. Let's see if I can dodge. I do not, and so I will take 8, but I will protect 2 of it, and so I will take 6. I'll drop down to 34. Okay. Then, fun stuff happens. Okay, so then we remove a time token. We are now at time scale 5, and at time scale 5 we draw an event card. Now the way that the event deck was built for this is there are 3 of the same card, and they are all Demon Conjuration. The first Demon Conjuration card drawn, the summoner utters screeching noises in an inhuman language, and the air around him fills with a portentous gust of wind. And that's all for the moment, but when the second one comes out, then the demon will come into play. And then we get to see the fun that the demon is. But that's all for now, so that's pretty good. And we're still going to be able to get our crossbow set up, so that's great. Okay. So I'll draw 2 cards. Ooh, the Hardwood Harness. Alright, so this time I'm only going to play 1 as... as endurance, and hope that 5 is going to be enough, at least for now. So I will go ahead and spend 3, and I think, even though I would like the Hardwood Harness, I want to get the crossbow out, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to start making attacks. So the first thing I will do is attack with the chainstaff. So that costs me 1. My melee is currently 13. 8 will definitely hit. The Fox Gang Thief will be taking only 3 damage. Well, let's see if she dodges. She does not. So, when she fails to dodge, I will have her draw... I will get to draw 1 card. That's great. Ooh, the Tuzak knife. Might be a little pricey. I think we'll see. We'll see how things are going. All right, and then I do 3 points of damage, which she protects 1, and that becomes 2. Okay. All right. And here's hoping I can hit with the crossbow. So I'll spend my last endurance on the crossbow. Attack the Fox Gang Thief with that. That is a 17, so that will not hit. I will take the fate point, and that's really all I can do at the moment. So there we are. I have some good armor, a healing potion, and my good sword, so I'm feeling pretty good about how all these things are looking for the moment. So let's see. Okay. Hector rolls a 4, which can't possibly be good. A random hero suffers 2d6 damage. If this hero uses armor to prevent any of this damage, that armor is discarded. So I probably don't want to use any armor on this. Let's find out how much it's gonna be. Oh, that's very good. Now, Provocate is not armor. Oh, I still get to dodge, though. I don't dodge. But Provocate is not armor, so I will use that and only take 1. That certainly could have been a lot worse. I got very lucky on that damage roll. Okay, let's see what the Fox Gang Thief does. That's a 4. That's not going to be good. Tripwire Ambush. The starting hero must succeed at a perception test or discard a random endurance card. Okay. My perception is 11 currently because it is raised. Hey, there's an 11. I succeed. So that's all. That actually could have been a lot worse. Okay, and then we will discard a time token. Excuse me. Okay. Here's hoping I can take out the Fox Gang Thief and get a little bit of time to set up before the demon comes out. Okay. Alright, there's that cross block. I'm going to go ahead and play that as endurance. Do I want to play anything else as endurance? I think at this point I want to hold on to the well-aimed strike and see what I can do. Alright, so I am going to spend 3 on getting out the hardwood harness. It's very important that I have more armor. Things are going to start to hurt a lot very soon. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and attack with the chain staff. That's a 2, that'll hit. Great. My damage is 7. That's very good. And do you dodge? Fox Gang Thief does dodge, so it'll be 4 damage, and she'll prevent 1 of it, so it ends up losing 3 life. And I did not get the chain staff effect. Alright, then we'll spend 1 to attack with the crossbow. If I hit, I will finish her off. Hopefully, assuming she doesn't dodge. That is not a hit, however. I think I'm going to spend my fate point on that. That will hit. And my damage is 11. So I think I got her one, no matter what. She does not dodge anyway, and so that will take her out. And I will get my fate point back. That's great. Okay, perfect. And then I will let it be Ector's turn. So Ector is mostly just chanting right now, especially with a 19, so he will not do anything this round, which gives me just a little bit more time to set up, which is great. Okay. So now I know that the demon is coming next turn. I want to be as prepared as possible. Okay. So the question becomes, do I want to put the Tuzak knife in play? And I'm not sure. I think probably I do. I don't need to do anything else this turn, so I think I'm going to hold on to these other 3 things, and yes, I'm going to spend all 6 of my endurance, and I will put the Tuzak knife in play. I'm going to put it right on top of the chain staff. I'll remember that I have both, but I can only use 1 melee attack each round, so that will probably be the Tuzak knife. Seems right. Okay. And that's going to be the end of my turn, since I can't do anything to Ector until the demon is in play. Okay. Alright, so now we go to his turn. He rolls an 8, forcing demons. If there is a demon in play, it gets +1 action this turn. That's good timing on that. Right before the demon came into play, he rolled that, so I'm happy to see that it does not happen. Okay. So then we are able to get through that round pretty easily, and then we'll draw the second event card. Second Demon Conjuration card drawn. The summoner raises his fist into the sky. A lightning bolt strikes the ground, which splits open to reveal a foul creature from your worst nightmares. The demon comes into play. And there it is. It is the Heshthot. And when the Heshthot is drawn, he immediately attacks. As long as the Heshthot is in play, leaders cannot be attacked. So he has hero number of actions, protection of 4, dodge of 5, 5 health. So not too huge on the health. As long as I can get a good hit in, I should be fine. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Sorry, I should remove that time token. But he does attack immediately, which is not great. So let's see what he does. 6. The starting player suffers 1d6 + 4 and must take one of his permanent cards in play back to his hand. I'm very fine with that because I know exactly which one I will be dropping. So let's see what the damage is. So it's 1d6 + 4, that's 8. And let's see if I can dodge. I do not, but I can protect and then reduce. So I will just take 3, which puts me at 30 even, which I am pretty okay with. All right. Drop that card on. Then I must take a card back into my hand. It's going to be the Chain Staff. Hey, look at that. I didn't need it anymore. Alright, so then that's the end of the turn. And we move on. Okay. So, ready everything. And I'm going to go ahead and put the Chain Staff down as Endurance, just in case I lose some Endurance. I think that first thing I want to do is add Self-Control. So now I have 2 more melee points. I'm up to 15 with the bracers and the Self-Control. Then I will spend 1 to attack the demon with the Tuzak knife. Okay. I have a fate point. I have lots of other things. That is a 19. I will spend that fate point. It's a 2. I hit. That's great. So I will make my damage roll. So it's 1d6 + 6, and it's only 7. I'm going to let's see if I can make this go quickly. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 on well-aimed strike to raise the damage by 4. So it's a total of 11. Here's hoping. And then that will... Sorry, I should only have 3, 4, 5 of those marked down. So now I'm at 11. Let's see if the Heshthot successfully dodges. He does. Okay. Okay. So that would be 5. And don't think it's worth it to use the Blessed Water this time. So he takes... he dodged, he takes 5. He has a protection of 4. So he will only take 1. And there we are. Okay. That's okay. It's not a huge problem. I think we're still doing fine. I'm going to spend 1 more to attack with the light crossbow. Okay. So with the light crossbow, we'll make a ranged attack. I'm not as good with these, but... Oh no, and I don't have the fate point. Well, I'll have a fate point now, and I'll randomly discard one of these 2 things. Let's actually roll a die. 1 to 3 will be this one. It's 4 to 6. And we'll discard Stargazing. Okay. Alright, so I still have my healing potion. I'll probably be using that soon, because I'm betting I'm going to take some hits this time. And losing a card was not great, but it could have been worse. Alrighty. The Hector. That's on the edge. 7. Forcing demons. If there is a demon in play, it gets +1 action this turn. So the demon will act twice this time around. That's great. Okay. Okay, well, let's see what he does. 8. A random hero suffers 1d6 + 4. But I don't lose a random card, which is good. So his damage, oops, it's going to be 9. And then I will roll to attempt to dodge that. I do not. So I will take 9. I'll go ahead and use the hardwood harness. Oh, I was supposed to pay to keep that in place, so I should have 1 less endurance. I will spend the protection on the hardwood harness, so I will take 5. And now we'll be at 25. And then, okay, then it acts again, rolls a 14 this time. Random hero suffers 1d6 + 4 again. Okay. That's going to be 6. Let's see if I can dodge that this time. That would be nice. I do! And that is a crit, so I will actually draw a card. Awesome. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Then, so I've dodged the 6, so it goes down to 3. I will use bracers and provocate to bring it down to 1. So I will be at 24. And then we remove a time token. And next turn, things are going to start to get nasty. Okay. Okay. Let's hope that I can take the demon out this turn, because if not, it gets an ability, and those are gross. Let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to spend 3 to gain anatomy. Oh, I should have drawn 2 cards. Sorry. Yep, no, that's all fine. Spending 3 to get anatomy, so now my ranged is at 14. Hopefully that will help. And then okay. Alright, I think let's wait and see what happens with the rest of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make the melee attack, which is at 15, because I have self-control and the bracers. So the melee attack is a 13. It will hit. I am going to go ahead and say that this is the time when I would like to use the Blessed Water. So I'll burn that token for an endurance and reduce his protection to 2. And let's see my damage. It is 4, so that's 10. Here's hoping. Do not dodge. Do not dodge. He dodged. It's a crit, so it's fine. So he did dodge. It's not good. So that's 5 damage, which means he's still alive, because he protects 2. Okay. Well, I absolutely must try to finish him off, because it gets really bad if I don't. Okay, alright. Well, here's hoping that the acrobatics makes that possible. Spend 1 to attack with the light crossbow. I hit. Good, good, good. My damage is not good. It's only 7. If he dodges, he will protect all of it. He does not dodge. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so I take out the Heshlet. So there goes the demon. Unfortunately, I don't have anything left I can do to Ector. So I'm just going to hang out. That is all I can do. Okay. Ector takes 1 action, and he will be doing 2. Fire and Brimstone. Random hero suffers 2d6. If I use armor to prevent any of this damage, that armor is discarded. Oh, I had to spend my last... Good point. I had to spend my last endurance on keeping the hardwood harness, so maybe that will be going away this turn. Let's find out. That's 8 damage. See if I can dodge. I do not. So I'll be taking 8 damage. I definitely will reduce it by 1. And yeah, I think it's time. I will reduce it by another 4. I cannot use 2 different pieces of armor on this attack, so I have to pick either the hardwood harness or the leather bracers, and whichever I use is going to go away. So I guess it will be the hardwood harness. So I've prevented 5, I will take 3, I'm down to 21. It's not too bad, especially because I have 2 healing cards in my hand. I have both the strong healing potion and I picked up the balsam, so that's good. I'm feeling a lot better about things. Alright. So then we remove the last time scale. The combat does not end when the last time scale token is removed. Instead, if both Ector and the demon are still alive, I would draw an additional demon ability, so that's how the demon gets abilities. If all cards have already been drawn, then instead he gains more actions in his next turn. If the demon was already defeated, Ector gains hero number of actions in his next turn. So next turn, from now on, he'll be taking 2 actions every round. So I do want to finish him off fairly quickly if I can. All right. Okay. So the trick now is that Ector still has a crowd around him. He doesn't have any henchmen, but he still has this hero action that I have to deal with. So I'm going to draw up 1. Ooh. Draw up 2, sorry. And I got Rusty again. So that's good. Alright. well, let's hold on to everything. I think everything is great. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 3 for warfare, bringing my melee up to 18. So that is as maxed as it is going to be, and that's fantastic. Now the problem that we run into at this point is that I have to take this body control roll every turn, and even though there are no henchmen, so it's going to succeed automatically. It says this roll automatically succeeds if the demon is the only henchman card in the villain row. The demon isn't even there, so there are no henchman cards in the villain row. If you are successful, you may make 1 attack on Ector Grimob. If you fail, suffer 1d6. So I succeed automatically, but I can only make 1 attack. So it's going to be the 2-zac knife, because my melee is currently 18. So I will do that, and then should hit him. 14, still good enough. And I will hit him for 1d6 plus 6. Let's see how much that is. It's only 8. Let's see if he will dodge. He does not dodge, so that's good. But he does protect 3, which means that he will take 5 and still be around, and I cannot attack him again. So I will go ahead and spend my last 2 endurance, since I don't have the harness to keep around, on my healing potion. And I'll go up to 29. Okay. So there we are. We're now at 29. I will use Fast Friend. And, ooh, the Sacred Bracelet. Don't feel like the... Oh no. What I want is Suddenly Gone. That will mean that all I need to do is hit him, and he will be done. My deck is just about out, so it's really important that I finish him off soon. Okay, so I've got Suddenly Gone, which will be able to reduce his protection by 3, which is all he has. So that should be good enough to take him down next turn, assuming I can hit him. Alright. He, however, does get to go twice before that happens. That's a crit, so he will go 3 times. So I will suffer 2d6. Okay, well, it's a good thing that I healed up. He will hit me for 7. I do not dodge, and in fact, I'll be losing one of my cards. That's not good. It's the Suddenly Gone. Of course it is. Okay. And so I'm taking 7. I'll block it with the Provocate, so I take 6. So I'm down to 23. Okay. And he'll take his second action of 3. It's a 2. It's the same thing. This time he's going to hit me for 9. Let's see if I dodge. I do not. So I'll be taking 9 damage. I don't really see the point in using the leather bracers at the moment, so I'm just going to let that go. So I will drop from 23 down to 14. And because he got a crit, he gets an extra action. And it is a 6. This time it's forcing demons. If there is a demon in play, it gets +1 action this turn. There isn't, so we're all good. Whew. Okay, well, he hit real hard that time. Let's go ahead and bring everything back. Ready everything. All drawn 2. Okay. Okay. All right, well, let's see if I can just get the attack in. Hopefully, don't need to do anything else. So I must make the body control roll. It automatically succeeds. And I spend 1 to make 1 attack, which is going to be the knife. And please hit, please hit. 8 will hit. I mean, I've still got 18 melee, so I'm very likely to hit. And there we are. So 1d6 plus 6 is going to be 12. All right, Hector, you're going down now. Okay. Finally, we have a nice solid hit. Let's see if he dodges, although I don't think it matters. He does not dodge. He will take 12, protect 3, and be destroyed. He is defeated. Okay, let's see what our success text is. After a victory, you slay the Dark Priest and his demon, freeing all those under his thrall. You report back to Delia, and she is extremely grateful for your help. Fexcare is saved. Unfortunately, she could not destroy the Void Spider, but she has hidden it somewhere safe and far away from holy artifacts. Meanwhile, one of Hector's victims, Issa Verge, has offered to help Delia investigate and root out any remaining willing followers of Hector Grimab and the Nameless One. And there's some intrigue there in the backstory. Issa is actually also secretly a servant of the Nameless One, and she becomes the new High Priestess. So that's going to be an issue for the future, but not right now. For right now, we will get to draw a reward card and consider whether we want to keep that reward or gain a new skill point. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so the reward card we're getting is Half Poison. Use on a hero's weapon. If an opponent loses life from an attack with this weapon, all his skill and attack rolls suffer a +3 modifier until the start of your next turn, which is only when you're dueling. In an adventure, use on a hero's weapon. If a henchman loses life points from an attack with this weapon, the result of his action die rolls are raised by 3 until the start of my next turn. So basically this attaches a poison to one of my weapons, and then every time I hit with it, it makes a henchman suffer in their rolls. I'm not sure that that's something I actually want to spend my experience on keeping. I feel like I've got a pretty good deck for the moment, and it's only useful against henchmen. If it were against leaders, that would be one thing. I mean, it's good. The half poison is not bad, but I'm... I think I would rather raise something, but I need to think about what I'm going to raise. I think I'm going to save that decision for just before next time. If you have any thoughts on which skill I should raise by another point, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Or if you feel strongly that no, I should definitely keep the half poison, let me know that too, and maybe I'll reconsider if you tell me I should reconsider. Otherwise, I think from here, next time, let's go on and see if we can't face a dragon. We will be diving into the next expansion, Tears of Fire, on our next video. Until then, have a great day.